interrupt the recording. The recording is always going to be available, but please try and mute your audio if you're not speaking so we can get the right quality. I think, okay. Tayo, thank you. So yes, Tomi is in the house. Hi, Tomi.
Hi. Good morning or good evening, everyone.
Well, it's good. As long as it's good, it's fine.
How you guys doing? Hope everybody's staying safe. I believe everybody's staying safe.
I'm sure we are. I'm sure there's nobody going to work at this time, but isn't it interesting that if someone had walked up to you 3 months ago and told you that the whole world would be shutting down in March, you probably just walk past the guy because you'd be thinking it's crazy.
I know, right? Like, what is this person talking about? I know.
It's interesting because the last stat I checked, over 600,000 cases have been reported, and the deaths are nearing 30,000. I know we have a recovery of over 100K, but 30,000 is not just numbers. That's someone's father, that's someone's mother, that's someone's relative.
Yeah, I know.
In any case, let's just jump right in. We have about 1 hour. We'll discuss for 20 minutes, try and cover all the major areas about today's topic. And then we'll open the floor to everyone who has questions, and I'll have you answer that question.
Okay.
Yeah, does it sound fine by you?
Yeah, fine.
Oh, great.
It works.
Great.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I'm going to give you the next 3 minutes to just tell us about yourself.
Okay.
Why you went to business school and what you do now.
Oh, okay. So my name is Tomilola Abiodun. I'm an alum of the Ohio State University Fisher College of Business. So I started my MBA in 2017. And one of the main reasons is I felt like if I really wanted to be like a true leader, I needed to have different perspectives to things. So in Nigeria, I used to work at PwC. So I'm an accountant. And I felt like I only saw things from only the accounting and finance point of view. And to be honest, most of my friends and most of the people that I related to, they are all accountants. So it's really hard for you to gain different perspectives that way. So I found out that the MBA was going to provide me the opportunity. It's more like you saying that you wanted to travel the world to learn, but instead of traveling the world, you just have to be in one classroom. And you get like people from all over the world there. So, and it was really amazing. I would say it was one of my best 2 years. It wasn't exactly very easy, but it was an opportunity for me to relearn, unlearn, and make new friends, and also develop myself technically, and also develop my soft skills too. Last year, I've been doing this for a while, but last year I decided to make it official and start my own consulting for MBAs, because I saw that there was a gap, especially for international students. So yeah, a lot of times people are not even aware what to do, how to prepare to get the best of the applications when coming to business school. And most importantly, it's like even when people get help with the applications, they don't really get help with the realities of what happens in business school. And trust me, a lot of international students are always drowning. So I felt like, okay, I needed to start this to actually help and support, so that internationals will have like an easier route, an easier path through business school, and also their career path in the US or whatever country they are in. So that's
just add to what you said. What you do currently is you call it TitanR consulting, right?
Yes, TitanR consulting. Yes.
Okay, great. Yes, you can go on.
Yeah, that's my own like consulting side gig. But 9 to 5, I work at Microsoft. I am a product marketing manager for app innovation in Azure, and I've been at Microsoft for about 8 months. So it's been really nice. It has a very amazing culture. I'm able to learn a lot. And what I'm doing right now is totally unrelated to what I did at PwC. So there's always an opportunity for you to switch careers, to change. So I would say that I've achieved my goal, at least my short-term goal. So that's all I'm
doing. Great. There's a point you raised about traveling around the world, but traveling around the world through the experiences of your classmates. I think
Yeah.
we tend to underestimate the power in that. Being able to sit next to someone from Taiwan, being able to sit next to someone from Iran, or being able to sit someone from India and Pakistan together in the same class and have
Yeah.
them shed light into their perspective on issues. And that's a good way to travel around the world. If you have 30 people from 30 countries, you're
I
already in
mean,
30 countries
yes,
already.
actually.
Yeah. You talked about some of the challenges you faced. I just want you to quickly speak about one major challenge you faced during your MBA. And the reason why I'm asking you to answer this question is we usually have a predetermined perception about MBA and how it would look like when you're just traveling out of Nigeria and perhaps you haven't traveled around the world. What were those cultural shock or those learning shocks or challenges, as you would call it, that you faced?
Okay, so I know that everybody has the notion, at least you got admission to come for your MBA, you're in the MBA classroom. So you think like, oh, I'm pretty smart, I'm good. But in the US, it's kind of different. So I don't know if anybody on this group chat actually schooled, like had their undergraduate degree in the US. If they did, that would be a different case. But if you had your undergraduate degree in Nigeria, coming to the US classroom environment it's a different ball game. So most of our classes are participation based, class participation based, and to me, I was a bit in shock because when they ask questions, like I'm still trying to think about my answer. Like, okay, this is the answer. Before I'm done thinking about my answer, like 3 or 4 Americans already raised their hands up. And I'm like, how are you guys even doing this? And sometimes it's not like they have the exact context, but they're just really very bold and they can say the first thing that comes out of their mouth. For us, it's not exactly that way because that's not how we were raised.
We're still trying to gauge and see if we're going to make sense with our response.
Yes.
But what you're saying right now is they don't care if they are making sense.
No, they don't.
Or not. They just answer.
They just answer. They don't care if they're making sense or not. And right now, you just need to they want you to participate in class. So if you're afraid, and we are all different. So some people are in like 4 months or 4 weeks, they're able to blend into the class. But some people, it takes them longer to actually understand what's going on. So it could actually affect like, the perception of yourself. So a lot of people, trust me, in a month into the MBA program, you'll be like, why am I here? Like, I think my life was good in Nigeria. I didn't have to be here. So everybody actually would go through that phase. So I would say that's like the major challenge from the academic point of view. From the career point,
Okay, go on, please.
Yeah, so from the career point of view, recruiting in the US is totally different from what it is in Nigeria. And the schools try their best, but to be honest, like, you have to be like an international to actually get what it is like for internationals. And for me, I felt the major challenge was in Nigeria. Okay, everybody applies to role, you get called for an assessment. That's kind of like pretty easy. You can be sure that, if I practice well, I'm going to get this job, or at least I will get through the interview stage. But it's not like that here. It's not like, I think there's only one company that does like assessments, just very few. That most of it is networking and trying to talk to people. It's more like how you can talk, how you can express yourself, even if there's nothing in your head. So that was like the biggest challenge for me, for career-wise and academic-wise.
Yeah, Tomi, I know we've had this conversation before, and you told me about your friend who was able to get high grades in class participation. You told me she did something that other people never thought about. Could you just quickly talk about that?
Oh, okay, yeah, sure. So this my particular friend, she's from India, and she kind of felt a bit like me too. She tried to answer questions sometimes, but it wasn't always possible. So what she did is, after every class, all the things that she had in her mind, she walked to the lecturer and she kind of asked the lecturer questions. So that way, the lecturer always had her in mind. They had her in their head. So when they're rating class participation, they rated her as high as people that spoke every second. Because she made the extra effort. Yeah, she made the extra effort to actually meet the lecturers after every class. She would stand and wait and just say something. So that's another way for you to build up like your confidence. So if you're able to do that the first few weeks, then you get confident enough to start like answering questions immediately from the top of your head.
Thank you, Tomi, for your answers. I know there's a lot we can talk about. I mean, I'm almost drawn to talking about recruiting, but I'm sure we can always bring you back to talk about that in a different session. I want us to delve right into COVID-19 and precisely the impact of COVID-19 on MBAs as it is right now. I want you to talk about what current students are facing at the moment with getting internships, with managing their loans, with adjusting to the new online models. Could you shed a bit of light into that?
Okay, so right now it's more like a lot of people didn't plan for this. And especially I feel like international students are bearing a huge brunt. But also, I wouldn't say just international students. I'll say students in general. So yes, most times, like your class schedule for the MBA, just a few classes. You could take a few classes that are like online, that they already prepared for them to be online classes. But most of your classes are not online classes. So lecturers are working extra hard to try to make the experience the same. But it's more like everybody is now, some people have never really studied from home before. They've not really done distant learning before. So a lot of people are not really getting it. And people are really like struggling. So I know a couple of schools put up, they want to adopt pass-fail grades for this semester. So it's not A, B, C, D. It's just
what's that?
So you don't get an A, B, C, or a D. So you just either pass or you fail. So yes, so a lot of schools are adopting that, pass or fail. Then for commencement, which is like graduation, almost all of the commencements have been postponed. So I don't know if they're eventually going to have the commencements later in the fall, or if they're just going to cancel it outrightly. But I know that a lot of schools had their commencement for first week of May. Like mostly it was going to be in May, but all of those commencements have been postponed. So I know that the schools are actually sending out things to actually help students. So students are encouraged, even though you are staying from home, you're encouraged to like work out. You guys do like sometimes Teams or Skype videos. So they do something like happy hour. So it's like a little celebration where you guys are just online and you guys have like a video chat and you guys just talk about things that are not like school or work or anything like that, just to make sure that we stay connected to ourselves. So for the internship bit, so I would say that one thing
before you move on to internship, permit me to interrupt you a bit here. You were talking about the grades, pass or fail. My quick question here is that going to contribute to your final grades? Is that somehow they would include that into your GPA?
To be honest, I don't know. I don't think so, but I don't know. No, I don't think so, but I don't know. So right now, this is like, it's not like any school planned for this right now. They didn't plan for any of these. So people are going to be making like exceptions. They're going to be making serious exceptions for this semester. So it might not be part of the cumulative CGPA. So they might just count three semesters instead of 4. But I don't know. It depends on what the school has said. But pass or fail grades normally, some classes are pass or fail normally. They don't count towards your CGPA normally.
Okay. You were talking about internship.
Yes. So regarding the internships, so I would say that a lot of the internship opportunities actually for the big companies, they started recruiting like since last July, like even before people like resumed the MBA. So a couple of people got their internship offers January, February, before all this happened. So some people already got internship offers. So this is what is happening right now. For the very big companies, those are like maybe the tech companies or the banks, they are not exactly like, nobody has said anything about canceling the internships. Like, I know that Google is making their internship remote. So they sent communication last week that the internship will be remote. So they're going to pay you what they've agreed to pay you. but they don't,
Okay.
because they don't want people feeling like, oh, they have to come to the location in June. They don't want people feeling that way. So they're going to pay you everything. You're going to work remotely, and they're going to ensure it's a seamless experience. So Amazon, Microsoft, and I don't know, they haven't brought out any of their communication regarding internships. But I know a few companies canceled their internships, which it's really bad.
That's unfortunate.
Yeah, it's really unfortunate. A few companies canceled the internship, but I would not really say that it was targeted at internationals. Like, a lot of domestic students are also affected by them canceling the internship. So a lot of companies that were drastically hit by the COVID-19 problem, so they canceled their internships. But I know that a lot of people are going to have to work remotely. Then, so these are for people that already got their internships like before February. To be honest, right now, a few people are getting internships, so but it is harder. It is really hard, because it's like the priorities of the companies have moved from like, oh, we are trying to work on our internships, to we are trying to get the present employees to be efficient working from home. So let's just say a lot of people's priorities have shifted. So I'm not saying it's not impossible to get. It's definitely possible to get an internship, but it's harder, and that's the truth. But honestly, March, April is actually harder to get an internship anyways, because most of the
Okay. So you're saying in a recruiting exercise, March, April is always very hard.
Yes, it's harder to get an internship, especially for international students, because the companies that normally take international students are big companies, and big companies are done with their recruitment. They already published their recruitment like in July, August, and they're kind of done like by February, by January. Some people already even had offers in October. So I would say that you could find some internationals that get internships March, April, yes, definitely. But most people already, if they already got an internship, they already did get an internship. So March,
if I'm hearing you clearly, the lesson for any incoming MBA student is to be extremely proactive with getting their internship.
Yeah.
Which trickles down to making sure that you're doing all the things you need to do even before you get into the MBA program, because MBA program resumes around August.
Yeah.
August, July, August, September, October. You're probably going to be in the eye of the storm, trying to get used to the new system and all of that. And you might just neglect the recruitment aspect of things.
Yeah.
So I'm trying to scale back from January. For those people who got their internship in January and February, they had started working on it even before that time.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yes. Yeah. Yes, definitely.
Which brings me to what you do. So I have my CV. It's probably looking great to me right now, but I've trashed my CV over and over again, and I think I submitted junks to the admission committee. I know when we were discussing the other time, you were talking about you do review services. You also help people refine their LinkedIn profile. Yeah. Can you talk about the work that you help people do, being proactive to make sure that irrespective of COVID-19 or any other crisis, they're very proactive? Because right now, the people who are enjoying this are those who have already gotten their internship around January, February, barring those who unfortunately had their offers cancelled. But the more proactive you are, the better position you would be. So can you talk about that and the work you do in helping people stay very proactive in getting their internship placement?
Yeah, so part of the services that I provide is trying to prepare people before they even get into the MBA program. So I help coach people for pre-MBA opportunities. So there are a lot of opportunities that normally a lot of them are already popping up from April, March to like July for different companies. There are fellowship opportunities. However, I don't know how COVID is going to affect those opportunities right now. I'm not saying it might or might not, but I help with preparing for that. And I help with resume reviews. I help with your cover letter reviews. I help you with interview prep. So international students, that's another topic for another day. When it comes to interviews, you have to be prepared. Like the way people think, the way we think we can talk in Nigeria, that's not how they want you to talk here. Like, it's a different ballgame entirely. So I help you, and there are different types of interview preps. There are just the normal behavioral interviews. There are technical interviews, that's finance, technical, operations, marketing, strategy, and they're like case-based interviews. Then you also need job search and networking coaching, because that's going to be like the bedrock of like how you're able to position yourself. So I help you, I take classes, I do classes on that. Then also your diversity conferences, because we have a lot of diversity conferences. So we also help you prepare for the diversity conferences to make the best out of it. Because I would say you can get, like, a lot of people have gotten offers from diversity conferences. And these are not people that I know from afar. Like, these are my clients. Like, these are people that I know personally. So it's not like impossible. It's something that you can do. And it brings me to, I'm having a webinar. We're hosting a webinar April 5th on things you should know before starting your MBA. And we'll be talking about like what to do, how we can help, and how you can get prepared and make sure that you are ready once this entire COVID-19 blows over, to start your MBA like the right way. So I would send the link to this group, to the Zoom chat, so that you guys can just like sign up if you're interested. Then you get an email inviting you to the webinar. It's going to be on Sunday next week, April 5th. So that's basically what I do. So I'll talk more about that in like my own hosted webinar.
Okay, great. Thank you for that. We'll still come back to the question. Thank you, Sai, for adding your question. We'll come back to that session. Please keep your questions coming in so I can prioritize it and group questions when necessary together so we can make the best use of the time we have available. You were talking about fellowships and conferences.
Yes.
I just want to announce to everybody that I know you know Poets and Cons.
Yeah.
They usually have this pre-MBA annual networking festival.
Yeah.
And pre-COVID, they have it physically. So you literally had to travel to wherever it is that they were all studying. And now they're moving this event online. I think it benefits us because as international students, there's no way I'm going to be able to attend a conference in the US. I mean, for most of us anyways, attend a conference in the US around May 5th when I don't even have my visa yet. So this event is moving virtually online and they have quite amazing companies there. It's going to cost $50 for everyone. You might want to look that up and weigh your options. I would actually encourage anybody to sign up for the pre-MBA networking event. But at the same time, you were talking about diversity conference. I'm expecting that many of all these MBA diversity conference or events will be moved online. What do you think about that?
I don't know about that for sure, because the first diversity conference, which is the National Black, it always happens like the last week in September. Then Prospanica and Rumba, Rumba is for the LGBTQ, Prospanica is for Latinos, that is in October. So I don't know if it's going to be moved. I don't know if it's still going to hold because it's still far down. So you don't know what's going to happen in September. So
what's going to happen?
Yeah, I don't know. At least for the ones in October, I am hoping that we are not still in lockdown in September and October. I am seriously hoping we're not. So, so that can I'm hoping they will definitely hold actually.
Yeah. Now you talked a lot about internship. I like to think that the same applies for jobs. So I would prioritize admissions over going down to job. Could you just talk a bit about how this whole situation is likely to affect those who are going to be applying in June, July, August this year?
So people like MBA admissions. So
MBAs, yes.
Okay, all right. So for me, I don't really see like any challenge. Like I don't see anything different happening for people that are going to start the application in first round, July, August, because they're going to be resuming next year, right? So it's like right now, there is like, nobody's really thinking about that for now. Like everything is just going to go as planned because for the application, they don't have to come on site or anything. But where I can see there being challenges is because right now, people can take standardized tests. So maybe some people's application will not be ready in July and August. And even if we come out of the lockdown by July, you can imagine like a lot of people will
trying to write the test.
Try to write their exam. So yes, I feel like the schools might be able to give concessions when it comes to like timelines. So probably they could extend their timelines by a few weeks, a few months. I don't know that, but that's what
some are actually even canceling already. I got an email from University of Alabama saying for PhD and masters, saying they're going to waive GRE for fall. For those who are trying to apply. But I wouldn't advise anyone to bank on that. Just continue to prepare for GRE, and if they do waive it, good. But if they don't, you'll be prepared anyways to take the test.
So I know that the GMAT and GRE, some people have access to write the test at home for some countries, but it's not going to scale, like actually coming to write it physically.
To Africa.
Yeah.
I'm trying to imagine if I wrote my GRE at home. Oh my goodness, that'd be so sweet.
Well, like I've written a couple of online exams here, and I'll tell you there is a proctor. So there's somebody looking at you through the video.
Oh,
yeah.
Okay. Yeah. Okay. So I'm being recorded as I'm writing.
Yeah. So it's not like you can just take any like.
So I can't open my GRE text.
No, you cannot. No. No, you cannot. So there's going to be a proctor recording you. That's why it's going to be harder to scale, because you need one proctor for one student, and that's going to be hard. So how do you want to scale that? Yes.
But it's quite interesting. It's really difficult to even cheat in an open exam, open book exam, where if you don't know what to look for, you're probably just going to fail the exam, because you'll be flipping through all the textbooks, looking for something and because you don't understand it, you fail. Yeah.
You're going to have a lot of open book exams though in your MBA program, a lot of open books.
Oh, that's interesting. So we talked about admissions. The other thing I would want us to just talk about is, for you right now, how are you exactly coping with the pandemic? How are your classmates who are already working and having their jobs coping with the pandemic? And most importantly, how are people paying back their loans?
Okay, so because I live in Seattle, Washington, so I think we're the first hit. We're the first hit. So 3 weeks and 2 days ago, like we all ordered to like work from home. So I've been working from home, and it was like a bit different. Like I work from home sometimes. Okay, to be honest, in 8 months, maybe I've worked from home like 3 times. I prefer to go to the office as a Nigerian that I am. But the first 1 week, it was just very strange. Like what am I doing here? So what I did is I got my monitor. So I ordered a monitor. I ordered an office chair and a mouse. I kind of made it part of my house, like an office that I come to in the morning, and I leave when it's 5 o'clock. Then I also try to take a walk every day, because it's good for your mental health. So they didn't lock us down. You can take a walk, you can go to the grocery store, but you have to be 6 feet from the person, like from anybody on the road. So I do that. I have virtual happy hour with my boss and my colleague, where we talk about other things. We talk about Netflix and what food we're trying and what we're cooking and what's going on. And I downloaded Snap. I don't know if it's Snapchat. Snap something on my Teams, Microsoft Teams. So when I'm having meetings, I have like different filters. I can have doggy filter, or have like.
There's another app called House Party. Someone sent me the link, downloaded it. I think I'll try it out and see what the app looks like today. But since a lot of people are already on the app already. We'll see how that looks. People are trying to cope.
Yeah, so I have a few friends here in Seattle. So they've also been working from home. My friends in Seattle. Then my friends in New York, definitely I've been working from home. I would say that I've been in touch with at least the internationals in my class, in my set. They are doing well. They are doing okay. None of them has lost their job yet. I don't really know about the domestic students, because we're 92 or 93 in my class, and 20 something of us, so 23, 20, 21, we're international students. So I know those people well. Yeah, because like they're like my community. But for the domestic, I honestly don't know like how they are holding up. But for the internationals, all my friends that I know, people that I I know that in my network, nobody has lost their jobs yet, and they're all working from home.
Oh, great. It's good to hear. And I want to thank you for all the insights you've shared so far. Before I open this discussion up for questions, I want to ask 3 quick questions. And I just want you to answer the question as succinctly as you can. The very first one is, what should students or people with MBA admissions do at the moment? What should they be doing right now?
Okay, so I already even wrote down answers for that. Like, I was expecting that question. So right now, there are going to be possible delays in your I-20 processing because a lot of people are doing remote work, and Office of International Affairs, like, people will be working skeletally. So there might be an overload of work to process immediately schools are able to process it. So right now, I know you can't get your visas, but it is best to sort out everything. Schools are doing the best they can. Like, they are being super proactive, but nobody really knows how long it will go for. And definitely it's not going to be over before Easter, at least not in the US. But like, you guys don't have to panic. Like, don't panic. It's not like, oh my God, you don't need to panic. So normally your classes are supposed to start like end of August, normal classes, but orientation should be like weeks before, especially for international students. The schools are planning this in case they have to adjust timelines. And trust me, these schools are very empathetic. They understand how things are going. So don't feel like if you miss the first week of orientation, like something bad is going to happen. No, it's not going to be a big deal. So right now, nobody has a control on the virus, but we can control flattening the curve. That is staying at home. Don't go for wedding and party and all the ashrabi people, everything that people do in Nigeria. Stay in your house. Then you can get ready for August. So I don't know. I know a lot of you are still receiving admission decisions, but I would really advise you to kind of decide on the school you want to go early enough. Pay your acceptance fee so you can secure your spot. Once you pay your acceptance fee, they will send you like financial information, like financial documents, for them to start processing your I-20. It will take longer. Normally it takes like a week, but now it might take longer because it will just take longer. So you just process your I-20, then you pay your service fee. That's the $350 fee that you have to pay. Then just be ready to apply for your visa. So once you already paid your acceptance fee, you've gotten your I-20 shipped to you, and you paid your service fee, the only thing that is outstanding is your visa, right? You don't really want them to open the consulate, the embassies, and you are still just trying to get I-20. Everything is just going to be a mess. So make sure you have everything, so that when they are able to open the embassies for visas, I want to believe that they would prioritize student visas, because normally if you are late, if you are almost due to resume, they can expedite your visa, like it can be expedited. So
I know someone who's been very proactive with this, already has his I-20 on the way, but he got stuck in the US, and sent him an email telling him that he should hold on, that they cannot ship anything out of the US. For that kind of person, he's already been proactive, and once everything dies down, the I-20 gets to Nigeria and he can start with this application.
Yes.
So let's move on to those students who haven't gotten decisions yet. There are still people who haven't gotten decisions yet. What are your advice for them?
Okay, so for this, I believe that they should be getting their decisions soon, although it might be slower than people already planned, because the admissions committee are not meeting like physically, and to be honest, they are also just trying to figure this thing out themselves. So we need to be like a little bit considerate. So yeah, it might take them a while, but they should just go ahead to email the schools. I know that a lot of schools now are giving concessions. They are saying, oh, you can apply till July, you can apply till June. But if you've already like done your interview, right? I know that people are still being called for interviews. So you've already been interviewed. You should get a decision soon. You just need to ask them, okay, please, when will I be getting a decision? And you need to let them know that you are asking because you're worried about the COVID situation and the fact that you're an international student, and they should be able to respond to you with a particular timeline. right now, I don't want people to freak out and focus on things they cannot change. So if you're waiting for a few admissions, email them, reach out to them. But most importantly, you need to start like preparing, and you have to be objective to yourself. Like you have to be very objective. Like, how did you do in the interview? Are you sure they're going to take you? I'm sure you will know if they're going to take you. I'm sure you will know. So if you know that you did well enough, then you can start preparing and attending our other webinars that are going to start coaching you for what you should do before you resume the MBA program. Don't say that. A lot of people have this, oh, when I have this, then I'll start to plan. Because by the time you have that, it will already be too late. So that's just like the advice I can give you.
All right. Thank you very much. There's one more question, but I will just go down to the chat and start picking questions from there. Someone, Fisaya, is asking, what are diversity conference? Could you quickly just explain what diversity conference are?
Okay, so diversity, just like you know, is, okay, we are trying to get different people with different experiences from different backgrounds, different cultures, different sexual orientation. We're trying to give them a chance. So here in the US, majorly, the white male have had the upper hand, right? So when they say something is diversity, it's like, okay, a female conference, an Asian conference, a Black conference, an LGBTQ conference, a Latino conference. So it's more like we want to increase representation of those underrepresented minorities. So those people that I just called the underrepresented minorities, we want to increase their representation in the big jobs, like in companies. So sometimes it's really very hard to get like a diversity candidate that is really good. So companies come to these conferences that focus on that particular diversity to recruit people. So for example,
so it's almost like
Black,
bringing all people belonging to a minority group, bringing them together, bringing recruiters to pick from them.
Yes. So recruiters actually pay recruiters pay to come for those diversity conferences. They pay like huge sums of money. So you see Microsoft at the conference, they come with their recruiters. They come with their people in finance, people in marketing. And in diversity conferences, you have like the career location where you go and talk to recruiters. And you also have like an interview spot. So people that, if you are good and you talk to Microsoft there and there, they will call you for an interview the next day. Same goes for all the other companies that are there. But the thing about the diversity conferences, we can call it National Black Conference, but you are going to see your white folks there because everybody.
What are they doing there?
Well, everybody is struggling, so they are going to come. The Indians are going to come. The Vietnamese are going to come, definitely. But I know that companies, they favor the diversity that they've come to look for over other people. So if you're in a National Black Conference and they want to interview somebody and you see a Black person, an Indian, and a white person, if the Black person is qualified for the interview, he gets the interview first. Then the Indian and the Vietnamese will get the interview first. If they don't find any of those people, then they will pick the white person. So a lot of times they always complain that, oh, they don't take us, blah, blah, blah. But it's, well,
the conference is actually not for you.
Yeah, the conference is not for you. But a lot of times they get jobs there because not all the companies at the conference take international students. So that's also something that I'm going to be talking about in my webinar. So for a company that doesn't take international students, like Coca-Cola doesn't take international students for MBA. And at the conference, Coca-Cola will give you free Coke and free Sprite to taste. You can come and drink as you want. So I mean, there are a lot of people that go there. So I'll just go there to Coca-Cola or Pepsi to just drink something because they're not going to give me a job anyways.
Yeah, but, so it's very important that you identify those companies that
of course, yes. And those are the kind of things that we also do too. That's kind of service that we also provide. Yeah.
Yeah. Can you point out popular conferences and the dates they usually hold their conferences? So we note that down and start preparing ourselves.
So Forte conference is supposed to be in June, but right now, I don't think that's going to be like physical. Forte is for women. It's Women MBA conference. Yes. So
it seems that they're moving it online.
Yeah, they might be moving that online, most likely.
Yeah.
Then the Poets and Cons that you spoke about, that one is just like a networking event. It's a very, very, very good opportunity for you to get recruiters and for you to networking is very, very important. So hopefully you attend my webinar next week, so you'll hear more about that. So yes, it's important for you to go there. National Black is in September. Prospanica is in October. Roomba is in October. So Roomba is LGBTQA. And yeah, but you can attend anyone. I mean, I know people that are not LGBTQ that attended Roomba. So
it's looking for a job, right?
It's looking for a job, although in Roomba they kind of are looking for, because it's hard. Like a lot of people discriminate against LGBTQ, so it's kind of hard for them to get the job. So one of my friends actually went for the conference, and the recruiter asked them, "Are you LGBTQ?" He's like, "Yes, I am." Because like, no. So sometimes they would ask you, because the recruiters would ask you, are you sure you're gay? Well, you know, it's Nigeria now.
That's an interesting one. Let me move on to the next question. Shegun is asking, for those resuming for 2020, how would you advise an international student in this class to be ready? How would one know what organization is recruiting at one point, given that one is not? So I think all these kind of questions will be answered in
my webinar.
The webinar that you're coming to. And I think you already answered the first part of the question. What should international students be doing right now to get ready? So Shegun, just make sure you don't miss the webinar.
And from the webinar, we are going to have things going forward, things you should do, how you should prepare. Then I think Shegun asked the question, how will one get to know when their organization announced internships? So I'll also be talking about that also in my webinar in April.
I think the most important thing right now for those with decisions is the opportunity is there's enough time for you to do as much as possible before you resume. Because now you're not working, you're not transiting to work, even though you work from home. You have enough time to sit down, speak to more students, attend webinars like this and that of TitanR, and get to review your CV, rewrite your cover letter, practice interview, learning skills and all that. So I think it's one thing we need to take very seriously. Another question from Julie's, she's asking, what advice would you have for international students trying to decide on similar offers? For example, a current international student on an MBA mentions that international students should pay attention when enrolling in schools further down the ranking, as that might impact their chances of finding employers who recruit and sponsor work authorization. Any other advice for choosing between schools?
Okay, so I'm just going to tell you the truth. So for choosing between schools, I would say right now for internationals, a lot of schools are trying to move to STEM, right? So I don't know how it's going to be in 2 years. Hopefully most schools will have STEM designation for their MBA. So I feel the priority right now should be, does this school have a STEM MBA? Because it gives you 3 years work authorization. So what Jules just said is one of the, myths that people have about, if you don't go to a top school, you're not going to get a job. First of all, that's not correct. As an international student.
Are you serious? So are you saying that if I go to an Harvard or I go to a lower school, there is no company who will recruit at Harvard that would recruit me?
So listen, so try to hear what I want to say. So as an international student, the hustle is the same. The struggle is the same. However, there are specific companies that recruit at some schools that don't recruit at other schools. So for example, a school in New York, because New York is an investment banking hub. So NYU a lot of the students would be in investment banking, right? And it's easier for you to actually get an investment banking job by going to a school around that area, because you are able to have coffee chats with these people, you're able to network with these people, you're able to talk with these people. If you are going to another school, maybe you're going to Alabama, it's not impossible, but it is going to be very, very, very hard for you, because you have to be traveling to New York. You have to work super, super hard. But it doesn't now mean that because you are in the school in New York, the opportunity is going to be thrown at you. You also have to work, because you need to know that everybody in your class is also looking for that job, and they are not dull people. Like, you are not the smartest person in the room. So you have to, the way to make the best of it is you have to work like you're not in a top school to be able to achieve your goals, because the people that are in the school with you, they are not dullards.
Oh, so irrespective of where you go to, you have to work as if you're not in that school.
Yes, because you are an international student. Like, you have to work. But yes, it's easier. So you might get Bank of America coming to your school. But if Bank of America, and the thing about the schools, like, if a company is coming to recruit in a school, they have a quota. So they are not going to take more than a particular number of people from this school, because that's their quota for that school. You need to be able to meet that quota. However, somebody that is in another school that they don't recruit for has no quota. So the person can work their way and get the job there. Right? I'm not saying it is easy, but it is not like the way people make it seem that, oh my God, if I go to this school, I'm going to get this job. No, that's not how it works at all. And at least I know I can talk for pharmaceuticals, for tech, for like other companies that are not investment banking. They've standardized, a lot of them have standardized their recruitment process. So wherever you go, you need to still do the things everybody is doing. Like, they are not going to come and take you because that is your school.
Oh, so no school confers you special privilege.
Yeah, for most of the tech companies, at least for Amazon, everybody you submit your application, they call everybody for assessment. Like, they don't even want to know where you are from. And after the assessment, you're going to do 4 rounds of interview, 1 hour each, 4 hours interview back to back. If you don't pass, you don't pass. Like, they don't care about that. Google, same thing. They're not coming to you. Need to submit your resume. You need to, they'll call you for interview. Although companies like Microsoft still goes to some schools, Apple still goes to some schools, but they have quotas, right? So they're like, okay, I don't want to take more than 5 people from me. I don't want to take more than 10 people from me or something. I don't know what their quota is. But there are other people from like other schools that they don't go to that are getting internship. Like Microsoft doesn't come to our school, Fisher, to recruit, but this year, 8 people got offers and 7 people accepted it, and there are 72 in the class. I mean, that is like 10% of the class. So I mean, and they didn't come to Fisher to recruit. So it's Amazon. I think 5 of them are going to Amazon. So it's more like the information that you have. But if you want to go to investment banking, if it is investment banking you want to do, I will be honest with you, go to the schools that are around the location where their investment hub. That's the one that will be easier for you. That's the truth for investment banking. That's the truth.
Okay, thank you for that question. Moving on to, this name will break my teeth, so I'll just call it Vocifer. Vocifer is asking, for software engineers ready to take MBA, what are the opportunities available for us outside of job offers in tech teams, like taking up management roles?
Okay, yeah, so for the software engineers, it's, you get opportunities. So for some of these companies, they have like product management, program management. So it's more like you are not going to be like a software engineer. You're not going to be coding, but you might be managing engineers. It's not impossible, but you might be able to get a sales role. Yes, you can get a sales role actually. You can get a technical sales role. You can get a technical marketing role. But the way it works is, because you're an international student, most people will want to take you because of the experience that you have. And because you've had software engineering experience, it's easier for you to leverage that. Once you get into the company, you can change your team. So don't make it feel like I have to get into the management or the business side right now. No, it's it means to an end. Like, you can always get into the management side. But I know that I have software engineers that are in sales, that are in marketing, they're in product management. Maybe you won't be in finance, probably not, but you'll be able to get a good blend.
Okay, thank you. Then Donna D is asking, how regular do the schools in the United States organize job fairs for graduate students? Are there any restrictions on what organizations international students can apply to?
Yeah, so for that, schools, like I know that a lot of schools have different job fairs. So for Fisher, for example, we have the 4 career fair for Fisher Graduate School of Business. That's the business school. Then we have the 4 career fair for the entire Ohio State. Then you also have the spring career fair. So schools have a lot of career fairs, actually. It's like a mini diversity conference, right? But this time, it's not a diversity conference. This time, these companies are coming to the school to recruit. So you also have opportunities to network with recruiters. A lot of people have gotten jobs from school-hosted career fairs. So yes, like the schools actually have like job fairs for graduate students. Then are there any restrictions on what organizations international students can apply to? So there are no restrictions on the company you can apply to. However, there are companies that don't sponsor international students that when you apply to them, the next day they will reject you. So you can apply, but they will reject you. So,
so don't bother applying anyway.
No, to me, to be honest, like if a company does not expressly state that we are not taking international students, please apply. Because there are a lot of companies that take international students I don't know. There are a lot of companies in the US that are big companies that you don't even know their names. So don't restrict yourself. Don't say that, oh, this company won't take me. No. Like for an MBA, Coca-Cola will not take you. ExxonMobil will not take you. I know that one. They're not going to take you, so don't bother. But for the other companies, just try your luck. Just apply. Like there's no harm in applying.
Yeah. The other question I'd like to ask is around loans. It's a big discussion in my community. And one thing I want to ask is, I'm sure, do you have students, classmates who have taken Prodigy Finance?
Prodigy, yes.
Okay. So can you talk about their experience so far with paying back and how the whole economic crisis proceeding out of COVID is likely to impact them?
Okay, so I have a friend that took a Prodigy loan. She's not in my classmate, but she works in Microsoft with me. She is still able to pay down her loan because, to be honest, like our salary did not get slashed. So I won't say there's been any issue with her paying back her loans. But what I know is that the US government, Trump said that there's a hold on federal student loans repayment. So that's federal student loan. That doesn't count for our Prodigy Finance loan. So for Prodigy Finance, I feel like you need to email them to ask them to give you a moratorium, like 3 months, 4 months. If you're not able to pay your loan this particular period, then they should be, because a lot of companies have been really nice and they've been giving people a lot of space. So that will be your conversation with Prodigy, because Prodigy is not even a US company. I think it's a European company. So it's you versus Prodigy on your own.
Oh, wow. My other question is around, what advice would you give to those planning to apply to business school later this year? What should they be doing now?
So for them, they should start prepping for their GRE, for their GMAT. That's very important. They should start getting their stories together. But I feel right now, preparing for your GRE and GMAT is very important. Then you need to do your research on schools. So what school do you want to go to? And I don't want your research on school to be based on just ranking. The thing about ranking is rankings move. Like next year, the school that was number 15 can be number 50. Like it is ranking. Like a lot of factors affect ranking. So it should be on realistic conversations that you are having with present students, alums, and actually where you want your career to go to. So if you want PE, venture capital, investment banking, please focus on schools that are in the investment banking neighborhood. Those are the schools that will give you a higher chance, and that is the truth. But if you're like looking at tech, manufacturing, maybe consulting, like there are a lot of schools that are top for consulting, but most schools actually have consulting opportunities. So except like for Fisher, I think the consulting opportunities are in supply chain. For some other schools, it's in finance. So it kind of depends on like what you really want. But don't make it look like, oh, it has to be ranking. You don't really want to do that. You don't want to be that person.
Thank you very much, Tomi, for deciding to join us on this. I'm still going to leave space for any more questions, but before I get those questions, You talked about the upcoming webinar and the work you do. Could you just share the link with us and speak a bit more about that? So, because I'm sure some people missed that when you were talking about it earlier on. Could you just quickly provide a summary of that and share the link and more details with us?
Okay, so like I explained before, I help prep MBAs or prospective students for like admission. So I do admissions prep, right? But I know that you guys are already like past that stage. But most importantly, what I do is some of you
Yeah, there's some people still trying to apply.
Oh, really? Oh, okay.
Yeah.
So what I also do is making sure that MBAs are able to start their, like, you start as an international student, you start with the right information, you are ready, you are prepared, because most of the feedback that a lot of first years always give is that they were not prepared, they were not ready, they had the wrong information, and a lot of people will give you wrong information. So I actually started the company because I wanted to help people. And I have other consultants that work with me. So they're like my external consultants, and they actually work in companies ranging from big tech companies to consulting to investment banking. So irrespective of what you want to do, we have people that can actually guide you. So it's more like I want to prep you. I want to make sure that, okay, your resume is great. Your cover letters are great. Like interview prep, most especially, you have that sorted, because once you resume, like I said, it's gonna look like, why am I even here? Like August, September, they are going to overwhelm you, and September, October is actually when you have the diversity conferences. So what always happens is students are not ready. They go to the diversity conferences and they don't get anything out of it, and they feel they feel upset because they hear their friends have gotten stuff. But people that would get stuff are people that have started preparing like way before.
Thank you for that.
Yeah, so I'm gonna send the link in the chat in a minute. So just hold on. And I know that if you have my clients, most of my clients for this time got like into big tech. There's Google, there's Amazon. So it will be best if you guys start it out early. So does anybody have any other questions?
Yeah, there's one from Kim. Kim is saying, why did you choose an MBA and why did you pick now?
Okay, first of all, I'll start from the back. I did not pick now. I picked 3 years ago. And I chose an MBA because I'd worked 4 years at PwC. I'd gained like my finance and my accounting experience. And the way it works is in the US, people that, if you're coming for like a master's of accounting and master's of finance, it's for students that just graduated, like they just finished their undergrad. So MBA is like the professional way to go for somebody that has had more than 3 years work experience, and it was going to actually allow me to switch careers. So I wasn't tired of audit, but I think I wanted to do something else. So I wanted to break into tech. That's all I wanted to do. So the MBA gave me the opportunity not just to break into tech, but also to switch careers to marketing in a tech function. So I feel like my MBA goals were achieved. So that's actually why I chose an MBA, because choosing a master's after working for four years, I'm not sure that's like the best way to go.
Thank you for that answer. And be rest assured I'll be at that webinar myself, and I'm sure a lot of people would be there too. We are most likely going to be having this on a regular basis, considering the COVID-19 pandemic. People are going to be more available to attend webinars like this.
Yeah.
We would need you, if it would be grateful if you could link us up with your friend who is taking up a Prodigy Finance loan. We're trying to organize a webinar where we would bring current international students, 2, 3, 4 of them, to talk about their experiences with their loans. I've searched online and I'm not getting anything as factual as I want. I'm just getting, oh, it's great, it's great, it's great. I'm getting both ends of the extreme. It would be great for people to get to hear from people who are currently paying back their loan and what their experiences are like. So if you could link us up with your friend, that would be amazing for us.
Okay. All right. Yeah. Okay. That works. I could ask her. I know the other people do, but they are still in first year, so they haven't started paying back their loans. So
no, we could have them talk about what they are facing, how they applied, and I'm sure people are currently trying to apply. What are the loopholes to avoid? Is it like having a loan at the back of your mind and going to classes? Is it that bad? Is it that good? Those kind of questions.
So let me know when you want to have the conversation, and I can send
what I would do right away is I'll send you an email once this is over, and it can be great.
Okay, all right.
So yeah, how do we reach you? Exactly. People are asking the question, how can they get across to you at the end of this?
Okay, I'm gonna type my email address. You can send an email to anu@titanrconsulting.com. You can connect with me on LinkedIn. My name is Tomilola Abiodun. But when you're connecting with me, please put a short message. Just don't connect with me because I won't know who you are.
Just put the title of this webinar there. So you're coming from this webinar.
You can just say hi, Tommy. We had a chat today at the COVID-19 for MBA webinars. I'd like to connect with you. Then I'll definitely accept you.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Awesome. That's great. So Tommy, thank you very much for your time today. I really appreciate it. And I'm sure we'll keep this conversation going after the webinar.
All right. Thank you, guys. Make sure you sign up using this link I sent.
All right. No problem. We'll keep that going and we'll get more people to sign up for that.
All right.
Any last words for us before we say bye-bye to you?
Be safe. Stay safe. Don't go for parties. Don't try to be Nigerian. Black people have COVID-19. Young people have COVID-19.
So we found out.
Yeah.
Can you just type your email? Julie's is asking, where's your email?
Yeah, I did type it. I've typed it again. anu@titanrconsulting.com.
No, ANU.
ANU, yes. Yes, I typed it.
TitanR.com.
Oh yeah, sorry. I think I emailed somebody. I sent it to somebody privately.
Oh, okay.
Yes, let me send it to everyone. Sorry. I don't know. That's my name. And
okay.
And that's the email address. Yeah.
Great. Thank you, Tommy, for all the insights you've shared today. I'm sure we would have something to think about, and we'll see you at the webinar soon.
All right. Thank you, Samuel. Take care, guys.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
And you too. Yes. All right, guys, that brings us to the end. And I hope we'll just don't forget the link, our email address, and the link for us to sign up. This is Samuel saying bye-bye for now. Hopefully, we'll convey more of this kind of webinars. And if you have any questions to ask, or you want us to bring in a particular person, or you have a contact with somebody that you want us to reach out, this is an avenue for us to get across to them and bring them on board to answer questions that we have on our mind. I'll share my email. My email is the samueladeoye@gmail.com. Just feel free to reach out to me. The names of the people you want us to bring, the topic you want us to discuss, even if you don't have a host for that, and we will get that done. So this is Sam saying thanks to everyone who made this happen. Thanks to the group. Thanks to the guys who have signed up. And I'll see you soon. Bye for now.
Bye.